Someone asked me the question, must you spend on your parents? The answer to that is number one. If they are in financial need and their money is not enough for their basic livelihood, then yes, you must spend on them enough for their livelihood. But this is only upon the son, the boys, not the girls, not the daughters. If the daughters do spend, it is out of their own goodwill. It is considered a sadaqah. Number two, if the parents are not in need of financial help, then no, you are not obliged to spend on them. For example, one father said to his son, got his children and said, every month you have to give me an allowance. Even though the father had his own income, he had his own properties, he's got money, and then you get these children and says, you've got to give me an allowance. Islamically, it is not an obligation to do so. Yani, if you have enough, give your father, give your mother out of goodness, out of love, out of compassion, but to force them and to make it a thing in Islam where you are in sin if you don't do that, that is not true. But of course, brothers and sisters, we don't do it out of harshness. We do it out of love. And no matter how much you can help your parents, you help them. But what I'm talking about is about parents using these laws to make it like as if we're right on their neck, as if it's like, it's as if I'm putting my child in a position of proving his loyalty to me. Let me see your loyalty. Will you give me this much every month? That's not right. There is a hadith which some people have mentioned to me. They say, didn't the Prophet, peace be upon him, say, Anta wa maluka li abik? You and your wealth is for your father. There is a long hadith about that. The hadith is authentic. However, this is where fiqh, jurisprudence comes in. Try to understand what the Prophet, peace be upon him, is saying. The meaning of this hadith is you and your wealth is for your father, meaning this was in relation to a man who said, Ya Rasulullah, my father, he wants to take my money. He wants to use it. He said, you and your money is for your father, meaning your father is allowed to use your money if he is in need of it. Where did I get this? From another hadith. You see, Islam explains itself from different angles. You can't just take one hadith and go with it. You got to take other areas and other ayat. Aisha radiallahu anha narrates in another hadith, which is in Ibn Hibban, that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, if the parents are in need of financial help, they are allowed to take from their son's money. And if they don't have a son, from their daughter's money. Their needs. For example, a father needs to pay a bill. He doesn't have any money to pay the bill for his electricity. He needs food. Your mother needs food. They haven't got enough. What do? They're allowed to take from that money. Otherwise, it's not literal. Your parents don't literally own you and your wealth. Otherwise, they will inherit everything. As soon as you die, we can say, well, if your father's still alive, he'll take all of your inheritance. But that's not true, because in the Quran, inheritance has to be divided. The mother gets a share, the wife gets a share, the children get a share, the grandparents get a share. Had this hadith meant that our fathers own us and our wealth, they'll inherit everything. But Allah did not make it that way. And of course, this is what it means, insha'Allah ta'ala.